Welcome to the latest USL League One in 10. My name is Jason Longshore. We're going to recap Week 6. We're going to look back at USL League One sides in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, and we're going to preview Week 7. Lots of things to get into, but these are the 10 things you need to know about the USL League One this week. Number 1, North Texas SC. They are perfect 4-0-0. And they moved into the top spot in the league table with their 1-0 win on the road over the Greenville Triumph. Thomas Roberts' 17th minute goal held up to give the visitors the victory in their first match on the road. North Texas held Greenville to only 5 shots in the match. This was a team that grabbed headlines early on with Ricardo Pepi's goal-scoring exploits. This was their third straight 1-0 win. Pepe has been away with the US U17s as they try to earn a World Cup slot and win the CONCACAF U17 championship. In this past match against Greenville, it was new center back Alfousseni Jadi who stepped in for his first start of the season. He was dominant in the win. Third straight 1-0, third straight clean sheet for North Texas. Number 2 on the list, let's stay in Greenville. The Triumph have really struggled to score goals lately. They've generally been getting shots outside of the match against North Texas, but this was their third straight without a goal scored. Strong defense has kept the Triumph in matches, and maybe, just maybe, Wednesday's Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup win over South Georgia Tormenta will get them going a little bit. It was a 1-0 win of their own in the first round of the Open Cup. Hometown star Cole Seiler sent Greenville to the next round with the goal in the 75th minute. Maybe that's what Greenville needs to get going. We'll talk about them a little bit later in the list. Number 3 on the list, Tormenta, very disappointed to be knocked out of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, but they were very busy on and off the field in this past week. They returned to action in Statesboro after a week off from league play. They play Sunday night against Toronto FC 2. Their USL League 2 side defeated the Chattanooga Red Wolves of USL League One in the first round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup on Tuesday night in Statesboro. South Georgia Tormenta also swept the awards for the first month of the USL League One season with Connor Antley and John Migliarese walking away with hardware. Antley's 2 goals and 3 assists earned him Player of the Month honors, and Migliarese was rewarded for taking Tormenta to the top of the table in the first month of the season. Number 4 on our list is the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Disappointingly lost in the Open Cup to South Georgia Tormenta 2. That was off the heels of a disappointing scoreless draw against Orlando City B last Friday night. The match had action in it. Orlando outshot Chattanooga 21-12, but neither side could find the opening to hit the back of the net. Both had chances in the second half. Red Wolves striker Iman Zayed had the best chance of the night, but his shot beat the goalkeeper, was cleared off the line by Orlando's Mateus Silva. A few minutes later, Chattanooga goalkeeper Alex Mangles made a big save on Orlando's Thiago Sousa. No goals, scoreless draw between Chattanooga and Orlando last Friday night. Number 5 on our list, the Richmond Kickers. They're unbeaten in their last 4 matches across all competitions after their draw last Saturday in league play against Lansing and their 6-2 win in the Open Cup play over Virginia United, an amateur qualifier. Let's get to the draw against Lansing. It was thanks to a spectacular individual effort from Daniel Jackson. He took a pass with his back to goal about 25 yards away, turned very quickly with excellent control, ripped a right-footed blast into the top corner in stoppage time to earn a 2-2 draw. The Kickers then followed that up with 6 goals against local amateur qualifiers, Virginia United. Things are flowing pretty well for the Richmond Kickers right about now. Number 6 on the list, forward Madison. also unbeaten in their last 4 matches across all competitions. They defeated one of the oldest clubs in the tournament, Milwaukee Bavarian SC, in the Open Cup in midweek. This is off the heels of a strong 3-1 win over Toronto FC2 last Saturday night, their first win at home this season. Don Smart was named the USL League One Player of the Week after scoring a goal and notching 2 assists in that league win over Toronto. Paulo Jr. and Carter Manley also scored for Madison in that 3-1 win. Manager Daryl Shore rotated the squad a little bit for the Open Cup match, and Brandon Eaton scored in his first start of the season in the 9th minute. Jiro Barriga Toyami extended the lead in the 36th minute, and Madison held off the amateur squad from Milwaukee to win 2-0 and move on to the second round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Number 7 on the list, Lansing Ignite. They're one of 6 clubs on 7 points in the table right now, but they've been sliding a little bit in league play. However, they did win their U.S. Open Cup debut this week against AFC Ann Arbor. It's kind of a wild story. The match was moved over to Lansing Catholic High School due to field conditions after some bad weather. It kicked off at 9:30 p.m. Elma Enfor scored 2 goals to lead the Ignite to the 2-1 win over Ann Arbor. Lansing is hoping that their Open Cup win gives them a little bit of a spark in league play this weekend as they host Greenville Triumph at Cooley Law School Stadium. Number 8 on our list, there's 5 matches on the schedule this weekend in USL League One. It starts Saturday afternoon with North Texas hosting Orlando City B. It's the second match of a doubleheader with FC Dallas. Kickoff will be approximately 4:20 p.m. At 7 o'clock, Chattanooga Red Wolves host Forward Madison at David Stanton Field. The Red Wolves are undefeated at home this season. They'll look to keep that going as Madison tries to go full Mingo in Chattanooga. Also at 7 p.m., Lansing hosting Greenville Triumph and Richmond hosting FC Tucson. On Sunday, Week 7 wraps up at 7 p.m. with South Georgia Tormenta welcoming Toronto FC2 to Statesboro and Irk Russell Park. Four USL League One sides will continue on in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Second round play will be next Wednesday night, and it starts at 7 o'clock as Lansing heads to Butler University to face Indy 11 of the USL Championship. The Richmond Kickers also had the draw send them on the road. They will head just a little south to Cary, North Carolina to face North Carolina FC of the USL Championship. Greenville gets back-to-back home matches in the Open Cup at Legacy Early College. They will be hosting former Open Cup finalist Charleston Battery in a big South Carolina derby. Forward Madison, they have the longest trip ahead of them of the USL League One sides. They're headed to Texas as they will play in the Southwest University Ballpark against El Paso Locomotive, one of the expansion sides in the USL Championship this year. And number 10 on our list, 2 players with 2019 USL League One experience were named to the United States roster for the U20 World Cup. Brandon Cervania, who's been a standout for North Texas SC while on loan from FC Dallas, he was a huge part of the CONCACAF U20 Championship winning U.S. squad. He'll return in the midfield. Richmond Kickers defender Abubakar Keita will join Cervania in the squad that will be headed to Poland shortly for the World Cup. The U.S. schedule, it'll see them face Ukraine on May 24th, Nigeria on May 27th, and Qatar on May 30th. Best of luck to Tab Ramos and the U.S. U20s as they compete in the World Cup again later this month. Thanks to everybody for listening. We greatly appreciate it. We will be back next week to recap Week 7, recap second round of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup, and preview Week 8 of the first ever USL League One season. Thanks. Talk to y'all next week.